Hey guys, Mr. Blue here with another sketchy at-home chemistry video. Let's start by watching this little video here.
Here I'm working with some lithium metal, very difficult to cut. I've got a piece of sodium here, pretty easy to cut. You notice when I cut through that the fresh sodium is very shiny compared to the rest. Let's zoom in real quick and see if we can really get in there. So this side will reflect a lot of light. The other sides are pretty dull. And you'll see that especially with the potassium here. I'm going to go ahead and give this kind of a half cut. So for the potassium, this is the side that's freshly cut, and you can see the dullness to the other sides compared to that one. So I'm going to go ahead and take those three, and I'm going to add them to water, and we can look at the kind of reactivity of those three alkali metals with water. So here I'm going to take lithium, and that's water. It's going to generate hydrogen gas and lithium hydroxide. So you're going to see a pink color develop here, and then you're going to see some smoke come off, and that's either lithium metal or that's lithium hydroxide coming off there. Maybe a little bit of liquid water. But it's not as reactive as, say, sodium, so I'm going to put sodium into the next one. And sodium is actually probably going to ignite. So you'll see some orange flame, perhaps, or some sparks, or some shrapnel. And then the last one, I'm going to go ahead and put my two pieces of potassium in. So this is less potassium than the other two in terms of amount. You'll find that the reactivity is a little bit greater.
Okay, so let's move on to our next bit.
Very difficult to cut.
And let's talk about the chemical that they put inside of that container. So that container there, we started out with neutral, and then what we saw was that all of our containers turned pink. And that's because we put in a chemical called phenolphthalein. And that indicates the presence of what we call an alkaline or a basic solution. So what that means is that we ended up with something called hydroxide being formed. Now this is the formula here of the hydroxide anion, and that's OH negative. And the more hydroxide we have, the higher the pH will be, okay? So what that generally means is that probably in these situations, we're going to generate something with a really large pH. So let's have a bit of a look at what was forming here. So what we have is we have a general word equation. Metal plus water gives us a metal hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. So what we need to do, right, and I'll go to my mini whiteboard for this, is we need to write equations for this. So let's start with a nice simple word equation. So we have lithium, okay, plus water. And then what we end up with is the metal hydroxide. So using that formula there, we have lithium hydroxide. And then the final thing there is our hydrogen gas. Now let's substitute underneath lithium, Li, water, we know is H2O. And then we have here is our lithium hydroxide. So what we're going to have, right, is we need to look at our valency of lithium. And we know that lithium has a positive charge. It's in that first column. So it only has the +1 charge. And the hydroxide has a negative charge, okay? Just a negative charge. So that positive charge is going to cancel out with that negative charge. And then we have here the formation of hydrogen gas. Now we know now that the formula for hydrogen is going to be, it's going to be a H, and then that hydrogen is going to bond with another hydrogen, and therefore the formula of that is H2. Okay? All right, so let's have a look now at, and now the next thing is, right, is that this equation is not balanced. I've got 3 hydrogens on this side, but only 2 on this side. So what I need to do is add a 2 here. That now doubles the amount of lithium, so I go 2 here, and then we finish up with another 2. What have we got here? 4 hydrogens on this side, but only 2 on this side, so I need to add a big number out the front. We cannot change any of the little numbers. They're like that. Okay, so for you guys and for practice, make sure that you're following that general word equation and try examples 2 and 3 underneath. Thank you very much.